Hi, I'm Liz from the Liz Manual of Style, and I'm going to show you how to make one of these vellum covers for a pocket notebook. This right here is a bullet journal, a pocket bullet journal, and I have used a sheet of vellum to fold it into a cover that protects my notebook. And I have actually been carrying this in my purse yesterday and for a few days. And as you can see, it's still looking pretty great and it's protecting my notebook. I'm going to use this Leuchtturm jot book today to demonstrate this. And I am going to use a sheet of 8.5 by 11 vellum paper. Vellum is like, I think it's plastic. It's thicker, but you can still fold it. And you can also use paper for this. Vellum is just probably going to hold up better because when you fold it, well, actually, that's not true. It can actually, I don't know what it's called when the paper, you fold it and it like part of it comes like ripped off a little bit. It happens because of the paper grain. But I think that would be happening on more like a cardstock situation, or if you got a little too intense with the folding on the vellum. So just keep it chill, keep it light, and we're gonna make this. So the first thing I do, it's kind of hard for you to see this paper because it's like sort of transparent. Well, it's vellum. It is gonna be in like the paper section though. Like if you go to Michael's, for example, they will have vellum sheets. You can also buy them individually too, usually. So what we're gonna do is find where we're gonna put this notebook. And then I'm going to do the top and bottom folds first. So I'm just gonna score it a little bit right here. This doesn't have to be exact measurements. I'm not gonna do exact measurements, but that's nice to use the notebook to try to get a somewhat even situation. And I'm not going to use a bone folder for this because I do not want to be too intense about my folds and get that, what I was talking about earlier. There's probably a name for it. I don't know. Okay, so now we have our two folds. But now we've got to get the sides folded. And I do not recommend doing a hard fold in the middle because you want it to go over the spine of your pocket notebook without having any type of scoring because it could like rip easier. So we're going to keep it like this. And we're going to do a similar thing with the sides here and just push this up here. And I do like to do each side one by one because this does need to fit correctly, because we're going to stick the cover into these folds. So you can go ahead and put the first one in. So we're just going to, and you can hopefully see I'm sticking them into these two folds here. So then you have, it's kind of like it's like an origami container for your cover. I mean, I don't know if I would call this origami. I guess it would be. So then we're gonna do the same thing for the other side now with the notebook inside, so we know there's gonna be enough room now. Okay, and then we're gonna fold this over. You probably don't know this, but I'm a witch, and I thought about making this a witchcraft version where you fold all of the folds towards you to bring in like abundance or whatever. Maybe I'll do some witchcraft videos. Okay, so then we have the other side. And then this can be slightly tricky, but we're going to put the other cover inside these folds too. And you may have to do a little bending. Just be very gentle to get these in here. I will say it felt a little bit easier on the bullet journal because I think the cover might be a little more malleable, but we'll get it in here. Luckily, you don't have to do this part very much if you just keep your notebook inside the cover. Okay, so now you can see that we have our beautiful vellum cover. Just gonna do a little finagling with the corners here, get everything lining up well. And the only downside to this, because it is snug, is the cover is gonna go like that a little bit. I find I don't have a problem with that because whenever I take this notebook with me, I would put my pen on the cover like this. And I typically have a metal pen, so this is how it would go into my purse. This is how this one actually does go in my purse. And then for this one, I actually did a little snip on all of the corners because I didn't like how it was lining up. This one I probably would just leave because the cover, I believe the cover is not that rounded. So yeah, these covers are just slightly rounded. So I'll probably just leave the hard corners on those. Let me know if you think this is useful and if it's something you have tried or will try, and consider subscribing for more stationery tips. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.